Welcome to my session, Defining Your AI Ecosystem with Advantech. Today I give you a brief introduction about how we at Advantech in Europe designed our AI ecosystem. One thing that we need to understand is what are the challenges of realizing AI at the edge. Now, AI at the edge in Industry 4.0 or in a smart city, it produces a lot of data. And to send all this data to a cloud-based infrastructure will give us a lot of challenges. Yeah? One of these challenges is latency. And with latency, if you send an image to the cloud and once it needs to come back and you want to have real time or near to real time, it's pretty tough to realize because your uplink and your downlink need to be very, very stable and fast. And we know this is not always the case. The second point is cost. To send that image to a cloud and to be analyzed in the cloud, you pay the cloud provider, like AWS, Azure, or Google. This costs money. So that's a different way of managing your cost infrastructure on your AI infrastructure. And the third part is safety. Because when sending data to a cloud, you need to have a secure connection. You need to make sure that no hacker can be intruding into your AI, in your data stream to the cloud and hack it, for instance, because it's all still possible, and I will speak to you about that a little bit later on in the presentation. Now, how does Advantech build up the ecosystem? Yeah, first, we start to talk with the technology providers. And here in Europe, we mainly work together with Intel and NVIDIA. Yeah? If you look one layer above, you see that there are the edge inference systems and the training servers. Yeah? They're all industrial. They are based on, if you can see the MIC AI, that's a Jetson-based platform, so that's ARM plus NVIDIA technology. And then you see the Box PC and the Rack PC and the Sky 6100, that's x86-based technology, so Intel, combined with an accelerator card from NVIDIA in Quadro or Tesla to accelerate the application to run the AI models on. On the right side, you see the training side. So we have there our Sky 6000 range, and our Sky 6000 range can support up to 10 Teslas. In this case, still the V100Ss. Later on, of course, we will update the platforms to support also the Ampere technology. Now, in the middle, there's the middleware, and the middleware makes sure that the software vendors, the ISVs, can connect to the hardware stack with CUDA-X and DeepStream. Then starts where the partnerships on the other side of the spectrum come from. It's the ISV partners, independent software vendors. And we work, in this case, at this stage, together with two of them. One is Brain Creators, with their Brain Matter platform, and their methodology is perceive, decide, and response. And later on, during this whole AI track, Glenn from Brain Creators, the CRO, will explain to you more in depth what they do with their Brain Matter software and how they can help you to implement the AI into your environment. On the second side, on the right side, you see NeuroCat. NeuroCat is a company that focuses on AI robustness and security. So they make sure no intrusion is happening into your AI and make also sure that the AI is robust. And with robust, we mean that you are not faking the AI, or with the AI there's no faking inside. Yeah? Unfortunately, they are not in this track session, but if you want to have a discussion with them, at the end of the session, I can tell you how you can get in contact with these guys via Advantech. On the upper layer, there's the apps, because you need a domain-focused system integrator, which we call DFSI in this presentation, who will make the app for that specific market, because you need to have knowledge about a certain market in order to implement the AI. And after that, you go to the end customer. And the end customer can be in retail, can be in manufacturing, robotics, whatever. Then there are different models. In the beginning, we spoke a little bit about why Edge AI is so important, and then we discussed already a little bit about sending data to cloud and so on. Now, you have the off-premise, you have the on-premise, and you have the hybrid business model. Now, if we start first with off-premise. Off-premise means that you use a data center in a cloud, so for instance, AWS, Azure, and you send all the image data that you have, you send it to the cloud, they analyze it, they make a model out of it, and they move it to the inference PC. So you see also on the screen, Edge Inference IPC with some cameras connected, can be security, it can be an industrial camera, and the model is being moved there, and you implement it in the application that you're using it for factories, for machinery, for transport, and so on. Then there is the on-premise model. On-premise means I have a server that is placed close to the machine, let's say that for instance. The model is being trained on the training server, it's being moved to the inference IPC, and the inference IPC is, again, the cameras are connected, and they analyze what's going on into the application that you use it for. And last but not least, there's the hybrid business model. And the hybrid business model means I first do everything in the cloud, the training, but the retraining I do on-prem. So I move my model to the on-prem retraining server, then I move the model to my inference IPC, and that is then doing the application of where you are using it for. Yeah? All three models are possible, also with the partners that we work with, because they use containerization, Dockers, Kubernetes, and so on. Now, for who is this then interesting, this whole ecosystem? It can be a DFSI, so domain focused system integrator, or just a generic system integrator. It can be an OEM. That can be a value-added distributor, but it can also be an ISV if you want to partner with us on your software, and or you want to use our hardware and you want to implement directly into the market. That's also possible. So we have all kinds of different business models laying out there to help you and support you in your journey into the AI space. Now, this is then how the go-to-market business model looks like. And I know there's a lot of arrows, and it may be a little bit complex, but if you see Advantech can co-work together with an ISV directly with a DFSI. But Advantech also works with OEMs. And the OEM can also work with an ISV, or we help the OEM to bridge with the ISV. In the end, what we say with this message is we believe, and I believe, that the DFSI is the most important link in this whole AI space, because the DFSI is the one who is implementing at the end customer side. So, with that said, if you want to engage with Advantech Ecosystem and you are interested, you can schedule a meeting with the experts. I have a session on Friday. You can register yourself on the Summit website for that, and you can ask for a one-to-one session with me. If you cannot make it, you can talk with one of my colleagues, or we can schedule later on a meeting in a private area. Then we define together the next steps. If you need one of our partners already to be engaged, and then we grow together. And the growing together, we don't do as Advantech ourselves. We do that together, because that's what the ecosystem is all about. And with that said, I want to thank you for your attention, and looking forward to hear or see you in the near future. Thank you very much.